Time for our Entre Nous segment, or Between Us. And today we're focusing on France's domestic spirits industry and taking a closer look at whiskey manufacturing. French distilleries have begun making a name for themselves on the global market, but it's often overlooked by wine and cognac. We can now bring in Sabine Grallet-Dupic, president at French whiskey manufacturer Roseliers. Thank you so much for joining us here on France 24 today. Firstly, very simple question for you. How is whiskey made?
Our whiskey is made in Roseliers. It's the name of the village in Lorraine, northeast of France. And I am Sabine, and I am the fifth generation of my family to continue on tradition family.
Now, I see that you brought bottles of whiskey. I have two here in front of me. The colors are different. Why?
The colors are different because it depends of the cask. Because we use some cask which has before contained some prestigious wine in France. For example, from Burgundy or from Bordeaux wine, prestigious, and that's why the color is different.
Sabine, when we think of wines, for instance, of course, we know that in 2009, the vintage was good. In 2010, the vintage was good. In 2015, vintage was good. What makes a whiskey good?
The whiskey is good because it depends of the barley, and we are farmer. We are one of the few distilleries of the world to control the entire production process.
So you do everything from A to Z?
Everything. Cereals, malting, brewing, fermentation, distillation, aging, everything. And the quality is recognized by the worldwide specialist in whiskey because for each step we chose the very best quality of barley, we chose the cask, and that's why
I saw you brought the barley with you. So this is rare, essentially, to also grow your own barley.
Yes, it's rare. We are farmer since 6 generations, and that's why it's important for us to control the quality, to propose, and that's why we have a lot of medals, of gold medal in international competition. That's why
I want to ask you about something because not many people know that France is actually a whiskey producing country. Why do you think this is not more acknowledged?
Because we start later. But in France we have all of to make a very good whiskey. We have the barley, we have the well-known of spirit. We have all of to make very good whiskey. And in France we like whiskey. And
I didn't know that France consumes a lot of whiskey. Was actually the top whiskey consuming country in the world until recently. I want to ask you about export markets for your brand, for instance, a French brand. I know that Johnny Walker exports a lot. Glenlivet, for instance, exports a lot. How does a French whiskey brand compete with these big giants?
For its quality. And for us, it's very important to have the quality, and that's why we have a lot of gold medal in France. And we export today in the USA, in Japan, in Canada, a lot of countries, and it's very nice. We are very happy to do that.
Are you looking at more exporting to Asia? Because, for instance, India, I believe, is the #1 whiskey consuming country in the world. Have you looked at Asia, or is it just in the US and around Europe?
Not yet, but we hope to export in India.
You want to export in India.
Yeah.
Just what are the challenges? Because, right now we're seeing this trend for zero alcohol when it comes to gin, when it comes to wine and champagne, for instance. Is that something you would look at potentially?
Perhaps, I don't know yet, but perhaps we are open-minded, and we have the chance, we are lucky, because we have sons who come with us in the company, and we have a very nice team. And we want to export in many countries and to look after what it exists.
And so when you talk about drinking whiskey, is there cocktails? Is there some with Coke? Is that frowned upon? How does it work?
We also work with restaurant, with barman, and we make our two mixologist cocktail with our whiskey. Yes, and we also can find our whiskey in Palace or a very nice hotel and a very nice restaurant. And we have a lot of possibilities to do with the whiskey.
Okay. And just when looking ahead, what do you see for yourself in terms of the main challenges? Is climate change something that worries you?
For us, what is very important to make our whiskey roselier is the quality. So the quality and to be present in the whole world.
Sabine Grallet-Dupic, thank you so much for coming in and speaking to us here on France 24. And as we close out this segment, a reminder to our viewers to drink in moderation and don't drink and drive.